Welcome to Classic Game Reviews, where we go back in time and take a look at the games of the past, and today's game is Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 released on the 25th of October 2011, 9 years ago, and was met with critical acclaim despite the glaring issues on the console versions. With the leaks that Battlefield 6 will be heavily inspired by Battlefield 3, I thought I'd go back and make a review. Timestamps will be down below. We will be talking about story, multiplayer, and that awesome soundtrack. Act 1, Story and Music. Battlefield 3 opens with a little set piece sequence on a train, which was an odd choice due to the franchise's reputation. However, this was setting the tone for the player. This wasn't going to be an all-out destruction set piece like the multiplayer. This was a narrative attempting to spread a message. The story is told through flashbacks, very similar to Call of Duty Black Ops, which I just did a review on, that came out a year before Battlefield 3. We go from mission after mission, slowly uncovering a plot to attack Western civilization with weapons of mass destruction. Each mission is very different from the other. Some missions you get to play with tanks or jets, or some are stealth sections, and some are all-out warfare that the franchise is known for. The campaign, for the most part, unfortunately, is very average. It does give off a completely different vibe from other shooters like Crysis and Call of Duty, but for me that just isn't enough. For me, the campaign from video games is one of the most important parts, I'd say essential these days, and I really didn't get a lot from this story. Sure, the set pieces are great, and at the time it really was a powerhouse in graphics and just overall gameplay innovation for consoles. I played on PC, but I remember very well how poorly the game ran on console. I think it was 30 FPS and only 32 players in multiplayer, and at that time most shooters did aim for 60, so it was quite disappointing. The campaign did what it had to do, I will give it that, but it's far from a masterpiece, and unfortunately the days of Bad Company 2 were over for the franchise. I know I'm being quite negative, but there were parts I liked. The opening mission with your squad was great. It really felt like you were with a squad who had your back, and the ending to this mission was incredible, but it just felt like the developers threw everything at you at once and forgot about the other 90% of what makes a story great. I liked the mission in Paris, as it was very different from the rest of the missions, and the jet and tank missions are particularly great. The music blew me away though. The main theme for Battlefield 3 is without a doubt one of the most iconic for a first-person shooter, up there with juggernauts like Crysis 2 and Modern Warfare 2. Those moments when you boot up the game and your headphones just start shaking as it slowly boots up is something else to behold altogether. It just gets you ready for the epic chaos you're about to experience. It just gives you that epic feeling I wish I got from the rest of the campaign, but that's where the multiplayer comes in. Oh, if you got this far, maybe smash that like button and maybe even subscribe. It would really help the channel out. Act 2, multiplayer. This is why you play Battlefield. This is what the franchise is known for, and it does not disappoint. The franchise has steered off into a different direction, trying to be more Call of Duty rather than Battlefield with Battlefield 5, so returning to this game was such a breath of fresh air. 64-player epic battles, jets, tanks, Humvees, buggies, all here. 64 epic battles on Operation Metro will never get old despite its clear, frustrating design. Blowing buildings up just to get to that one enemy who's been driving you nuts for 10 minutes is super satisfying, and the weapon choice is beyond vast. Recon, assault, engineer, and support all have a vital role in the success of your team, and is another thing that's been lost over the years. Weapons are mostly balanced despite the ridiculously quick time to kill, but that adds more to the intensity that death is around every corner and keeps you on your toes. It's something that Call of Duty just can't provide, but with the addition of Warzone, Call of Duty is slowly catching up to the Battlefield scale. It does amaze me how both franchises have changed and become polar opposites by copying each other. Battlefield is more like COD than ever before, and the opposite is true for Call of Duty. It's maddening, and I think both franchises have suffered and prospered from it. Who knows what the future holds. Compared to when it released 9 years ago, I think Battlefield 3 still holds up today, and the praise it received back then, Battlefield 3 absolutely deserves it. It's still my favourite Battlefield for multiplayer, and I plan to play the really old Battlefields one day. Battlefield 3 is an absolute classic. Thank you for watching.